So I'm not really going to edit this video, and I don't expect it to get a lot of views either. It's just really me talking into the camera. And what I'm going to be talking about is, as you probably can tell from the title, is how I'm planning on making a £100,000 content creator business. Now I want to get to 100k just through content alone, and this video is going to talk about my plan on how I'm going to get there. Maybe you can, if you're watching this video, maybe you can learn from it, and I'm documenting my journey to get there, right? And I want you guys to follow me with it. I want you guys to do the same thing and just learn where I'm at. Just listen to what I'm saying and maybe get some inspiration from it, or try a few things by yourself, or just listen in like a podcast or something. Treat this like a podcast, right? Because I'm not going to edit this. There's not going to be no editing to this. It's just me literally talking into the camera. So the idea is I just want to give value, right? And I just want to kind of talk about where I'm at, and yeah, you can learn from it too. So $100,000 or £100,000 content creator business. Now, in terms of what I've done so far to make the money that I've made online, my other videos talk about it, but I started off as a tutor. So I was doing tutoring for subjects for GCSEs, right? Which is, for, if you're not from the UK, is just an exam that you're required to take at the age of 16. So that's where I started off, just making content around that. So this was the content creation side, right? I made content. I never spent any money on ads for any of my businesses. It was all through content alone. So I made content around this topic, and I just started posting it out there, right, on specific platforms. So my kind of strategy was, and there's not a lot to this, right, with making money online. I always say this, the time we're in now is the easiest time it's ever been to make money online. It's never been easier to make money, right? Because we're living in the attention economy, and we'll come on to that later and what it's shifting to too, right? But we're living in the attention economy where you can make money and make content on just about anything and build an audience there, build trust with that audience, and then sell them something. And that's what I did. So I started making content initially for GCSEs, so for this exam board, where I talk about like study tips and how to do well in the exams, and my story as well, and how I've helped other students, or other student stories as well as my own. And I just started putting it out there and talking about it. And again, these weren't highly edited videos, right? All it really comes up with is just thinking of video ideas, recording them, putting them out there, and just not thinking as much. And that's it, right? Just don't overthink things. Just put content out there, decide what you want to post about and what you want to help people with, and put it out there. And that's how I started. I started it with GCSEs, and then I slowly transitioned to other things. Now I had a mentor that I invested in, and he gave me the idea. And obviously there's a lot of mentorship programs out there, even I offer one, and a lot of them, they're not good, right? But this guy in particular, now it was surface level advice that he gave me. It wasn't like an amazing course, but, or like program, but the idea that he had was that stop tutoring, or do it less, and just focus on helping other teachers and other tutors start a tutoring business. Because there was quite a lot of pain there, right? In that audience that he defined for me, in that niche, they had a lot of pain. And I noticed that myself. Like, a lot of teachers were leaving the profession, right, and looking for an income that might, you know, give them less hours and help them make more. It's quite a strong selling point, that, right? So I started there, and I did the same thing. There was a lot of, like, there's a few other people in the space. Obviously it's quite a niche thing, so it's quite easy to dominate that small space. A lot of people were running ads, and had a lot bigger profiles than I did, right? I started off quite small. All I did was make content addressing their problems. Literally, that's how I started. I made a long list of all the problems that these teachers would have. So they were working long hours, they were underpaid, sorry, for the hours they were working. They were constantly marking papers, all that sort of thing. And all I did was I listed out all the problems that they might have, and I just come up with content pieces around how they should tackle that and what they can do. And it was quite actionable tips, and I just made videos on TikTok, Instagram and YouTube just talking about them, right? And with no other intention except from building trust, and giving value, right? And naturally I built a small audience. Now it wasn't crazy, but a big misconception people actually have is that you need a big audience to make money online. It's not true, right? If you look at my channel now, any channel that I've had, I've never had crazy subscribers, I've never had crazy followers. I think the highest views I've ever got on a video was only 130,000, which it might seem a lot, but if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, it's not really, if you look at other creators and Mr. Beast of the world and that sort of thing. But again, I was able to generate a full-time income online and making like tens of thousands of dollars a month, or at least 10k a month, just like this, right? And that's all it takes, and that's where I'm putting my energy into now, right? And doubling down on this, because I did it with GCSEs, I did it for teachers and tutors. But now what I'm trying to do on this channel specifically is the exact same thing, right? But I want to position myself differently now. I want my content to be in line with who I am, right? And I've looked at other creators in the space that I align my views with, and I want to be like those guys too, in the sense that I want my content to truly reflect me. I don't want to put a fake persona on, because I see other guys in the same making money online space doing the same thing, right? And obviously there's a lot of bullshit out there. Like I said before, there's a lot of coaches and mentors out there that aren't offering true value, right? That are just there to take your money and sell you a high ticket program, which again, like, you know, charging $2,000 to $5,000 for a program, not everybody can do that. Now I want my thing to be as accessible as possible, so my mentorship, my coaching isn't priced like that. I'm not trying to sell you on it right now here, but I'm just saying that that's my viewpoint, right? And that's where I'm going with this. So in terms of how I'm planning on making $100,000 business, right, I'm doing the opposite of what works or what the traditional advice is. Now I've always been told to pick one thing and just focus on it, laser focus, right? And this might be a mistake that I'm making. Now I have a friend, or a couple of friends really, that I've spoke to about business. We talk about it a lot, and making money and what we're doing and that sort of things. We learn from each other, we network quite a lot, and you need that too, right? Find a group of friends that are going to push you, right, and you can learn from, and that you can teach to, right? That's powerful, right? But you know, we talk to each other about what we're doing, and one friend's struggling to make money online, right? He's at a hard point, but I know what his problem is, right? And I can tell him, but he won't listen. But I know what his problem is. His problem is, right, he's focused on too many different things. He has this business and this, and he's working on this with a friend and all this sort of thing. So his attention is divided, right? So if he's like, I don't know, if he's putting all his focus into one thing, that thing could just grow, right? And he could just spend hours and hours on that one thing. Instead of having like 4 or 5 mediocre businesses, he could have one like very amazing business. But that's where he's going wrong. His attention's too divided. But I'm making that same mistake. I'm doing that right now. On my journey to being $100,000 or £1,000 content creator, I'm doing that same thing. And maybe I'm being oblivious to it, right? But I'm doing that same thing. My attention is split. My focus is split, right? But what I'm doing is I'm still tutoring, right? That's my passion. I love doing it. I love teaching, right? And that's why a coaching business is something I'd recommend to others. That's why I do that, right? And that's why I help people do the same thing. And so I'm doing the tutoring still, but I also want to help other people start making money online and start teaching online, right? So my view is the best way to make money online is just to make content around a specific area, right? Whatever your passion is, or whatever skills that you have, or whatever outcome that you've achieved in your life, you could do that, right? You can make content around it and help other people that might be a few steps behind where you are now, right? Just think of it as you're teaching your younger self, right? And I do this a lot. I think to myself with tutoring, and I'll come back to that example. I think to myself, well, what would I have done when I was a student differently? Like if I go back in time, if I could go back in time, I'd do a lot of things differently, right? In terms of like getting my GCSE grades, I would do a lot of things differently because I know how to go about it now. But I can't go back in time. That's impossible. But what I can do is help other people that, you know, at that age, right, what I was at. I can't go back and fix it for myself, but I could teach the next generation, right? And that's quite valuable. And that's what the parents will pay for. The tutors, the students, right, that I tutor, that's what they pay for, right? My guidance, my support, and I get them the results. And it's the same thing here too. So when I started my tutoring business 4 years ago, what do I wish I knew? I would have started posting content a lot earlier, right? And that's why, like, it took me 4 years to get to that point of making between 8 and 10 grand a month, right? But now it's like, if I start a business from scratch today, which is what I'm basically doing with this one, to be fair, I've dabbled into coaching before, but now I want to double down on it on my journey to being a 100k creator. But if I was to start this now, which I'm doing, right, I know I can grow it a lot quicker. I know I can get paying customers a lot faster because of all the experience I have and because of all the knowledge I have on it now. So my idea is I want to help people that are at that beginner stage or that are trying but can't make it work, to save them from the years and years and the 4 years of trying to make it work. Right, the idea is I want to help people get there faster, whether it's students or in my other business, or whether it's with this helping people create an income by teaching online or educating online, right? Whether it's through courses or one-to-one mentorships or that sort of thing. That's my plan, that's my goal, and that's how I'm going to do it. And again, I don't want to spend any money on ads. I don't want to make any money from brand deals or sponsorships or anything like that. My only income will come from people in my communities that that they pay access for, or one-to-one coaching with me, or group coaching and that sort of thing, where I'm giving value. And I feel personally that's meaningful work, right? I can go to bed and I feeling that I'm making good money, but I'm doing something that's not only I enjoy, but I'm helping other people. And I feel like that's the three pillars of what you need, right? Making good money, helping people in the process, and feeling like you enjoy it, right? Doing something you love, not making money doing something that you don't actually enjoy but you know is profitable, right? Which a lot of people I see do. I have a lot of friends that do the same thing, whether they're doing drop shipping or clipping or like all these new like business fads. Well, I call it fads, right? But it's working for a few of them. But all these sort of things that you'll see people preaching about online, the same way I'm preaching about coaching, right? I feel like it's not fulfilling for a lot of people. A lot of people just do it because it can make them money. But I don't want that to be my business. I don't want the people I work with to do something they don't enjoy and they're only going in it for money. It's not just for the love of the money, it's about the love of the game, right? And with this business, if you treat it like a game, right? Which games did you play as a kid, right? Were you a FIFA kid, Call of Duty, GTA? You carry on playing the games you enjoy, right? And it's the same with business. I want to stick at this game for a long time, past this 100k mark, and I want you guys to follow it and become a 100k creator with me as well, right? And that's the takeaway from this. All you really need to do is pick one topic, pick one skill that you have, and if you don't have a skill, research a skill, right? And it could be on just about anything, right? People are making crazy money doing the most random things online, teaching that skill, right? Teach the most random skills you can think of. So it doesn't have to be helping people make money in a certain place. It can be, helping people with their fashion, with their dressing, right? Helping people with their grooming, right? Helping people with, a sport or something like that, right? People improve their grades, anything, right? Crocheting, anything, any skill. And if you don't have a skill yet, the nice thing about this is that you can be a synthesizer. What do I mean by that? Now, a synthesizer is something, I'm in another group, right, online. It's quite a powerful group on School, if you've heard of the platform. And the idea of being a synthesizer means you can learn a skill, right? You can research a skill and you can walk that path and then teach people that are at the start of that path. It's what I said before, helping people. Now, you don't have to be an expert to have an expert business. Now, I throw the word expert around a lot in my content. I say I'm going to help you start an expert coaching business. And what that means is you're an expert in a skill. You can help people, but you don't need to be like the #1 guy. You don't need to be like Messi or LeBron James of your industry, right? You only need to be a level 3 or 4 and help a level 1. If you're a level 6, you can help a level 4. And that's where you provide the most value, I believe. Right, helping people just jump over one hurdle, complete that next level to get to where they want to get to, right? And I've worked with people that are making 3 or 4, maybe 5 grand a month, which I believe is quite comfortable, right? You don't have to work on that, I believe, right? You wouldn't have to work a 9 to 5 job, and I've helped them get to like 9 grand, 10 grand a month, and that's quite valuable. Again, they're not complete beginners; they have a working business. And this is my plan. This is how I'm going to get to 10k, I'm at 10k a month now, to be fair, but really build this to like 100k, right? Making £100,000 from a business, or $100,000, where I'm just sticking to content, making videos on every single platform, and just putting all my effort into that, all my effort into giving as much value as I can, right? And coaching people in the back end and helping people make money too, right? In a different niche and whatever interest they have. And that's my goal. And I want to challenge you guys to do the same. I want you to pick a number. Now, for me, it was 100 grand, because I know if I put that in my content, it's quite appealing to people, but also it's appealing to me. I want to get to that point. But think of a number. It might not be that for you. It might be 10 grand a month, which I know a lot of people have that goal. It might be 3 grand a month. It might be even 2k a month, right? Just so you can kind of have that, not have to work a 9 to 5 sort of thing. Pick that number and decide how you want to get there. And again, if you can charge $200 a month for a coaching program, or even that, let's do like a low ticket offer, like a low price thing, right? If you can charge like, I don't know, let's say £200 a month, right? All you need is 25 clients, I believe, to get to like 5 grand a month, right? And it's, £200 a month, you need 10 clients to get to, a grand at least. So that'll be 250 times by 25, wouldn't it, for 5k? I'm sat in my car, it's quite hot in here. I've got the windows open, right? So my brain's not even working. I can't even do the maths. And I'm saying I'm a tutor. But yeah, that's my plan, right? Just make content, give as much value as I can for free. And for anyone that wants more support, right, just give them that, right? Send them to my link, or you know, let them conversate with me. If they want coaching, they can get it. I don't want to be a pushy salesman either. I want to avoid what everyone else is recommending and doing. I don't want to charge like $5,000 for a program and that sort of thing. I don't want to do that. It's just me. I don't want to do that, right? And yeah, that's just how I want to go about it. Just low ticket, get as many people as I can to help, and only work with people that I actually feel like I can help. And that's what's going to help me feel fulfilled with this. Now, obviously, I have to give you my little picture at the end. The video is kind of ending, but if you want to make like that sort of money, if you have your own goal, if you have your own 100k in mind, right, and you want to start making money online, teaching something that you love, coaching one-to-one or in small groups, or having your own community, by making content online, whether you want to show your face or not, if you want to build your own personal brand and sell something to an audience in the back end and make serious money doing that, then just reach out to me, man. If there's not a link in my bio, my Instagram will be in the bio, and you can just have a chat with me. We can talk about it. We can talk about what you can do, what it might look like for you. And if you want my help implementing it, obviously we can work together, right? But that's my goal now. I want to get to my 100k, and I want to help other people get to their 100k, right? Whatever that number might be. But yeah, thank you guys for the right 16 minutes I've been recording. It doesn't feel like it's been like that. But yeah, that's me for the day. Peace.